Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us here in the Rotunda for this important Bernalillo County News Conference. Today we're here to talk about Bernalillo County's legislative priorities, particularly our focus on housing and behavioral health, two critical areas where we have the opportunity to make a real difference in our community and for the entire state of New Mexico. I'd like to start by introducing someone who has been a tireless advocate for housing, equity, and collaboration, our Vice Chair and District 3 Commissioner, Adriann Barboa. Adriann.
Hello, good afternoon. Thanks everyone for being here today as we talk about a top priority for Bernalillo County during this legislative session. Our wonderful community is dealing with the problem common to many others nationwide. In that, we face a significant shortage of affordable housing. It hurts my heart to know that not all our residents enjoy the comfort, the dignity, the security, or especially right now, the warmth of an affordable home. But then it soothes my heart to know that we can fight to change that and that it's a real privilege of being a public servant. So we at the county will be fighting throughout this session to ask for help from our state legislature to make progress in the area. We are partnered on this mission with the city of Albuquerque, and together we have come up with some ambitious, creative, and thoughtful solutions to this challenge. We are also engaging the private sector and nonprofits for their assistance to face this challenge. So let's talk about a few of the projects we're trying to get funding for, starting with the ones in my home district of Commission District 3. We are requesting $2 million to build and furnish cottages and renovate a former clinic for use as affordable and transitional housing in the International District. We have a chance to sustain some real momentum there. The county last year received $3 million in state money and immediately put it to work to buying 4 properties for future affordable housing projects. 3 of those properties are also within the International District. The biggest request in the metro area is $100 million for a joint project within the city. When finished, we will have built 2,000 new housing units and rehabbed over 800 units for our community. In addition to those sheer numbers, there are 2 really exciting things about this. One is that these projects will be scattered throughout all 4 quadrants of the city. If you live in Albuquerque, one of these improvements, increased housing, is coming to a neighborhood near you. 2, $51 million could be used to finish within a year 8 of the projects that are currently under construction. So we're ready to go finalize those projects and get people housed. The county also has plans to build a 60-unit complex on property it owns on 6th and Cole to moderate and low-income senior citizens. We have asked for $1.5 million in state funding for this. Right now, I plead with you, there are too many seniors living in our West Side shelter without being close to care and living in conditions where they really need that housing. The county, we are also requesting $500,000 to do major upgrades on 75 homes in our El Centro and Cebello village housing, where the residents are low-income seniors or have other physical challenges. So again, housing has been a priority. The County Commission is aligned that housing of all kinds, transitional, low-income, moderate, affordable, market-rate housing is needed, and we're prioritizing our efforts to make sure that we have affordable housing for all our residents across Bernalillo County. Thank you. I'm going to first ask Representative Janelle Anyanonu to come up to the mic.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Barboa. I am Representative Janelle Anyanonu from House District 19. It's the Fairgrounds in the International District. And as Commissioner Barboa mentioned, we are looking to find traditional and more creative solutions to housing in the 60-day session this year. We, of course, are looking to build more housing as we just have a complete shortage of tangible structures that are available for affordable housing. But beyond that, last year we were able to create a $2 million investment investment in a community land trust so that residents can own their own land and the properties that sit on it, and we can bring the ownership of land back to the people, and we're extremely proud of that. Thank you. In addition to that, this session we are also looking to fund projects like a creditworthiness program to help people who are otherwise completely qualified for rentals of houses and apartments, but maybe don't qualify because of an issue with prior eviction or with a negative or a bad credit score, to be able to rent apartments and homes that they otherwise would absolutely qualify for. But we are also looking to make, we have an RFP out to possibly develop the fairgrounds inside the International District. The key being that as we create more housing in infill as opposed to sprawl in the city and in the state, that we make sure that we are making new development areas mixed income areas, so that people who have been renting for decades finally see a potential to home ownership. That is a major, major priority for us in the 60-day session, for me in particular. And with that, I will turn it back to our Commissioner Barboa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative. We have loved your leadership across our district. And now I'd love to send it to my former colleague at the Commission. Many of us know her as Commissioner Debbie O'Malley, and we are so honored and proud that now she is our Senator Debbie O'Malley. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Well, I've been a long-time advocate for affordable housing, and I'm just very pleased that the county and the city sat down together and worked together to form a collaborative so that they could cooperatively work together to get funding and prioritize projects to get them underway. There are a number of projects that just need some gap funding in Bernalillo County, and they've identified those. I believe there's a list that was handed out to legislators. One in particular that Commissioner Barboa brought up was senior housing in the downtown area. That's something that I'm very, very much interested in, and I think that should be a priority as well. And was mentioned, we're looking at different types of housing. I was the founder of the Sawmill Community Land Trust. It's a community-owned project, and we're looking at actually doing a project there that's going to be it's going to be kind of the first in the state. It will be multi-family cooperative housing. It's a little different model. It's not the traditional model, but it gives people an opportunity to have some equity and stability in housing. So I know that Commissioner knows, and others here, Representative Anyanonu, also know that they can count on me to be supportive of all the projects in Bernalillo County. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As you can see, we have great support in our legislature, and it is all of our priority to increase housing for our residents here in New Mexico. Yes, thank you. And there's more. I'd like now to bring up Dr. Wayne Lindstrom, our Deputy County Manager for Behavioral Health, to elaborate on housing goals, specifically in that particular area, and transitional housing for the unsheltered or those facing needing recovery from substance use disorder or otherwise. So thanks to Dr. Lindstrom, and his leadership and dedication are critical in moving this mission forward. So please welcome Dr. Lindstrom, Wayne Lindstrom.
Thank you, Commissioner Barboa. Good afternoon. My name is Wayne Lindstrom, and I serve as the Deputy County Manager for Behavioral Health for Bernalillo County. We're here today to highlight how housing is a cornerstone for behavioral health recovery. And quite frankly, I didn't always necessarily believe that. I had an experience roughly 25 years ago when I was serving as a consultant, and a gentleman who had a long history of chronic mental illness invited me to his home. And we sat down and we started to talk, and he said, I really want to emphasize something with you. He said, over the years, professional counselors and therapists kept telling me if I just got a job, everything would be okay. He says, I can tell you I've had literally hundreds of jobs, but I could never hold on to them. I couldn't perform in the way that I needed to maintain my employment because I didn't have a home. He said, until I got a home that offered me the stability and the sense of meaning and belonging and safety, was I ever able to hold down employment. And so he became a meaningful teacher to turn around my own thinking, being a professional in this business, about how central having a home is. So it's not always about housing. We can offer a variety of transitional housing options, etc., and we currently do, but that doesn't necessarily constitute a home. And that's one of the biggest challenges that we have. I want to also point out there was recently a meta-analysis of research in the area of homelessness, and it demonstrated that roughly 67% of those who are homeless have a severe mental illness, and that up to 50% have a substance use disorder, and many of them have both. So if we're simply providing temporary shelter without the kinds of treatment and supports for individuals who are homeless, we're not sending them on the trajectory to recovery. So we have too many individuals struggling for stability in our communities, and they need a safe place within which they can heal and launch a sustainable recovery pathway for themselves. Before we discuss our future plans, I want to highlight some of the work that we're currently doing to addressing housing instability and support behavioral health recovery. Tiny Home Village is one of our more innovative programs, providing up to 24 months of transitional housing alongside care management and wraparound services. It's out on Zuni. If you ever want to pay us a visit, please let us know, because it's remarkable to talk about the sense of hope and the light in people's eyes as a result of having some place that offers safety, supports, treatment options, and then transitions them to hopefully more sustainable housing in a place they can call home. We also operate a family wellness shelter that operates in a hotel in Albuquerque, and 3/4 of that hotel is occupied by commercial guests. And our homeless families also occupy the remaining quarter of that facility. They go down for continental breakfast every morning, just like any commercial guest. And I can't think of anything better to help alleviate some of the biases about people who are homeless as somehow being less than and not being able to be members of society, etc. We also operate the Care Campus, which many of you would have known historically as MATS. And the Care Campus really today is a comprehensive campus of services and supports, including transitional recovery housing, particularly for young women who are pregnant or are young mothers, etc., which is another significant need where we need to provide more recovery and supports. Looking to the future, we're asking the legislature to support 3 critical projects totaling approximately $33 million as part of a larger $79 million joint request with the City of Albuquerque to expand our capacity. And the thought around this is that there's a much larger request regarding affordable housing, but the reality is that some of these projects will take years to come to fruition, and what is it that those with behavioral health conditions do in the interim? And that's where this additional $33 million request comes into play, where we can have more transitional housing options while we build more affordable housing and provide necessary supports. One of the projects that we have on the table as part of this ask is a transitional housing unit that we did all the feasibility studies on already, and it would be $20 million for 30 units where those in recovery could stay up to 2 years. There are those with complex health needs and behavioral health conditions, etc., where a 3, 6, 9-month program simply isn't enough to get them to heal sufficiently and be on a path to recovery. We're also proposing expanding what we do with regards to homeless families to also include seniors. And so that request is for an additional $7 million to convert a hotel, offering 100 to 150 additional rooms for families and seniors for up to 6 months. We're also proposing expanding tiny home villages for 3 more of these communities, costing roughly $6 million, that will serve up to 90 individuals in recovery for up to 9 months. These initiatives are designed not just to house people temporarily, but to provide a foundation from which they can be moved into a stable, home-like environment. We can't do this alone. We need the partnership of our state lawmakers and the governor to make these projects a reality. Together, we can provide real solutions for individuals and families in need. We also ask our community partners to continue supporting clients as they navigate transitional housing and work towards stability. I want to thank Commissioner Barboa, our legislative partners, and everyone here today for your commitment to affordable housing and behavioral health solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lindstrom. I am incredibly proud as a commission to tell our legislature today that our commission is aligned, and under the leadership of our county manager, Cindy Chavez, and the leadership of our wonderful Dr. Lindstrom, heading up our Division of Behavioral Health and these innovative projects, that the legislature can count on us to get this done. Thank you.